So, just one today. I had a few other parcels, but nothing railway related. I did order 2 pairs of new trainers. They sent 1 pair. We have chips. Do we have anything in the bottom of the box? Or is it all? No. So we have some, well, what we got here? Spotlights, train stop and go lights and controller. That's not quite what we would call them. Originally from the Chinese seller. I have got a few of their bits. So we have some Chinese made 3-aspect signals. I think these are about £12–15 on their own. They don't appear to have been used. There's no signs of them, you know, being shoved on a layout. We have one random resistor, 620 ohm, a little pair of screws and insulators, which I presume are the standoff to screw this little board, which again I think is about another £15, which is a green, yellow, red positive, 5V negative, a little light board to control. I think you put a reed switch, I don't know whether that's with it, a reed switch in your track somewhere so it will control the light. Looks like there's 2 outputs there, because there's another pair there. I'll have to look on their website, but that might go on the American side, or a branch line or something, maybe. So we have some leads. Looks like some operational LEDs, just to tell you what's doing what. Oh yeah, the reed switch is in there, a magnetic reed switch and a 9V battery clip, obviously to run it remotely. I guess that would be useful if you're maybe doing it at an exhibition, but I shall be having an accessory bus for that. And then there's some little RSTL, the RSJ connectors. So that was all about £18 worth. There's about £30 worth of stuff there. So back again for another part. Another label on this. Seems strange. Right, into it. Obviously it's an AliExpress parcel. Let's make sure my address is on that one. And this one, someone's about to push the door open. So, should be some switches. 2 packs of 10, if they've got it right. And the little ones are not dissimilar to the ones that Gauge Master sell for an exorbitant amount of money. So we should have a little locking washer. So there should be a groove down one end of it. Yeah, get that out of the way. They're on, off on, they're not sent a return. Pooh. They were supposed to be momentary. Or I assumed they were. Could be an issue, might not be. Not the end of the world, because they were cheap. They could still find a use if not, so I might have cocked up. All I have: toggle switch on, off, on, 3 position, doesn't say latching, doesn't say momentary either, but yeah, they were considerably cheaper than Gauge Master, most of them are, so we can use them accessory switches if not, no great loss. should be something for the old airbrush department. So we have the little bendy gandy handy croc clips on a bit of wire for when you spray. They come in a little metal storage tin and they're magnetic, so you can probably get an old oven tray or something to put in your spray booth, or use this if you want to get it covered in paint, and stick your objects, loco bodies, wagon bodies, people, when you're airbrushing. It was about £6 or so. Cheaper than they are on Amazon, and obviously you could buy a few more and fit in it. I think they're about £3 if you just want to buy a bunch of the little things. And they're in a little handy storage tin to keep them to hand without losing them. Just a basic bit of tin. Well, that dry period is definitely over, although it's only 2 short blips. There's a few other bits. I think another order coming in. Yes, I don't need your help. We've got a full house here. All the dogs are in the room with me, including the young lady with a lot of sass. So this one is excuse me, we have some coaches. They were the sort of right money, and I had obviously a look on the guys' other listings, and there was a few bits. Certainly no awards for packing, but we have a rail freight VGA in the speed link that needs a clean by the looks of it, and some strange glue marks perhaps, but nothing major. It was a bit less than they normally go for. They normally make £20+ and this was 17. So that will probably, I think I've got another one to get rid of. That's I had an EWS one. I don't want that. I got rid of that one. So we've got a couple of the good old Lima Royal Mail. I did have a little bit of a Royal Mail train going on, and a res, ended up with a res one as well, so that was on the picture, the bent coupling. Nothing that can't be sorted out with a pair of pliers. So both Lima ones. So that'll make my postal train up. Why are you walking underneath my legs? Right, so that's them out of the way. So we've got 2 of them. Now you're trying to get on this, trying to climb up on the chair so she can snout out the window. And the Jack Russell sitting in the chair. So this could get interesting. Shush! Yeah. We don't care. And a Mark II with a missing bogey. Quite how that's managed to have some force on it to knock it loose, I don't know, but you're pulling me glasses off. Jesus. Sit down. Right, well, I've got a missing buffer on that one. Probably was already present. Again, these were £10 marks, so another one. How does this happen? They're clipped in. I mean, it's a significant force to get them out. And we've got a coupling hook missing that end. No, again, nothing major. And that's the Mark II restaurant, because they didn't do one of the air conditioned. And he had Network South East coaches as well. One Hornby, one Lima. So that looks like the Lima one because it's got metal wheels. For some reason someone's cut all of the bottom bits off. Why they've done that, I don't know. I do have another chassis, so again they were cheapies, £10 each. And an old Hornby one, needs a clean but nothing major. Bit of glue on it, it's a bit grubby, so it just needs a wash up and a spruce. I'm not going to bother flush glazing all of these. I don't see it's worth the effort really. So I will pause and just check the box for any bits that might have come astray and come back with box number 2. Well, we'll start again. We're down to one dog in the room now. The nice quiet one, Loki. Well, usually quiet. Quiet for a husky. So the other ones I just had a look off cam and straightened the couplings. So the only thing that's somehow there's a coupling hook gone missing. I did have a look in the box, but unless it's wrapped in a bit of paper, it's gone astray, not the end of the world. So this is a bit of a bumper haul from one seller. That bit with the address on. So we have Wolfers Gold Line 3 cushion coil cars, an Athern covered hopper, unbuilt kits, 3 of those I think it was, and Electro Tren pack of containers, an Athern HO kit built 3 55-foot hoppers, and 4 Wolfers cushion coil cars. They're the earlier kit ones as well. So I'll get this out of the way because we ain't gonna see it. Someone's knocked the water bowl over, so there is a puddle of water on my carpet with that last lot of tissue paper now soaking it up. And she's back at the bloody door. Right, we'll start again. Will ever work with children or animals, did they say? Or huskies, particularly females. Why are they always more demanding than the males? Right, so I don't know what's what. So we have a 3-pack of Athern hoppers. I'll save you the fight with the tape. Round 1, cushion coil cars. Where are they? 1, 2, there should be 4 of those, so there might be another one floating around unless there's 2 in one box. So we have the little frame. These are the kit ones, obviously. A bit like Athern Blue Box really, just Wolfers equivalent. I don't know whether these were fully assembled, and they have got, well, this one's Baltimore and Ohio, and some weights in one bit but not in the other. I'll give them a reworking. So these may well, I think that's a bit of an attempt at brake hose underneath. Got KDs on them, and quite a nice little model. Just obviously need a little bit of titivation. I've got the tops in there. I won't get everything out, but let's have a look at one, and you've seen them all. Then there's the rogue bit of weight. So the tops of these, it's usually them that are a casualty of anything. Looks like the horns are snapped off those ones, but Baltimore and Ohio, so these might get a reworking to Norfolk and Southern, or not. So they would just go on the tops and protect the steel coil cars, not unlike our Procore type ones with the hoods that slide on, or the telescopic ones we had over here. So there was a bunch of them. Interestingly, I had a guy, he had 3 pairs of these, so 6. He sent me an offer of £35 down to $33.99 as an offer, just for the tops. So I informed him that I'd bought 4 complete wagons for less money than he was asking for the tops, i.e. 4 of these cost £20. He wanted £35 just for 3 tops, or 3 pairs. It's just the later packaging of the kit version, so that's the other coil car. But again, I paid £5 each for them in equivalent rail terms, so what's that, less than $4 each. So the next one I think must be this Walther's gold line ones. So they're basically the same thing, but a posher version, a more upmarket, ready to roll. So we've got Harbour there. That's just my item number. MKT, not quite sure on that one who MKT are. That one, and of course there had to be a reason to buy them anyway, Norfolk and Southern. So I think, did I get one other Norfolk and Southern? I think it's a brown one. So they're the factory ones, which are sort of the gold line. Is that the middle road? There's the train line, gold line, and then the proto, isn't there? So these are the good old reliable Atherm blue box. So I had to get this one because it's Dow. If anyone's wondering why, it's because Dow Chemicals have a plant in Lynn, in my hometown. I don't think it's Dow Chemicals now, but it used to be many years ago when it was an ICI company. I think it's not much of it left now. So then we have a New York Central, just a hopper, may get obviously resprayed. The hopper, well, the lid option is still in there. To put the non-fiberglass ones on is still there. These are just sort of basic clip together kits really, you don't even need glue. And how many times have you seen one of these? So yeah, bright. Probably again, I don't know. It might go and do the rounds, or it might get sprayed grey and just be turned into a generic road hopper. As you don't really see them going around anywhere. Shell Plastics, I suppose it's a plastics pellet hopper. And I think this is the last lot. There was 4 lots. We've got something else down the bottom here. Yeah, that's the containers. Let's just fight through these off cam. So we're back from the bubble wrap wars. So we have a little 4-pack of, I guess they're 20 foot, 40 foot rather, 40 foot containers. They don't look like they're probably seen any use, they're very clean. And I think the other pack I've got are 20s, or a mix of Electro-Trend. So obviously they'll work with European HO or American HO. Obviously I don't model European stuff. So more for the flats. Plenty of Husky stack cars that will need containers. So the last lot is another lot of grain hoppers, pellet hoppers. So we've got a family lines, which you still see them kicking around, very worn, battered and bashed, so guess what, that's what it's going to look like. That will get heavy weathering and fading out. I mean the prices I put, well, this was, the three of these were £11.52p. A Great Northern, I've not seen any of them, I don't think, on any of the rail fanning guys that catch train movements. It's quite a nice one. And the last one is an all black plain unmarked one, I think, which I have three of these already. 55-foot centre flow. I don't think they come with any decals or anything, although they're probably that old they wouldn't be any good anyway. This has never been assembled, none of these have been touched, so that might be a little video. Just make sure everything's still there. I did find a 3D print of some of these. You can get this bit as a replacement part, not this particular model, but there are some bits on there, so it's just a plain generic black moulded centre flow. I have three of those, well now four, so they will get sprayed in Norfolk and Southern Grey and turn into NS hoppers. And that was that for now. The only other thing I've got is a couple more carriages coming, I think, or four more into city. I missed out on a couple of others. There was some other stuff I was watching and almost got a bid in, but let's say I was prepared to bid £90 and they sold for 180. So I didn't get any more cool hoppers. See you on the next one.